Ayrshire Swedish Red, an alternative to milk production. The Ayrshire is originally from Scotland in the northern part of Great Britain. It was developed in the 18th century in the county of Ayr. This is an area that is cold, rainy, and of difficult terrain, aspects that have helped to develop its strength and rusticity. This breed is claimed to have been the result of crossing two native breeds from the UK, the Shorthorn and the West Highland. Even if the breed hasn't had much dissemination, you can find it in countries such as Australia, Finland, Russia, Kenya, Colombia, and in the largest breeding herds found in the United States and Canada.
Ayrshire is a grazing breed by excellence. Its medium-sized build and excellent legs and aplomb have allowed it to travel long distances in search of food. They are also very efficient animals in the conversion of food.
So then, what is the breed known as the Swedish Red?
The Swedish Red breed originated from the Scottish Ayrshire, when the latter arrived in Sweden at the beginning of the 19th century and was crossbred with native breeds such as the Swedish Red and the Shorthorn dairy cow. That's how, at the beginning of the 20th century, the two dominant breeds in Sweden came to be Swedish Red and Ayrshire. At some point, they decided to fuse them into one, in 1914, I believe, choosing to have one breed. When the Swedish Red breed entered the picture, it allowed expansion of genetic lines, as well as a selective Swedish system focused on the following health traits: calving ease, fertility, genetic resistance to mastitis, one of the pillars and bastions of the race, hoof health, and longevity. This has allowed for animals that are both functional and profitable for the farm, animals that are almost invisible. Almost invisible how? They are good producers of milk and solids, yet they require little maintenance and care. They are animals that seldom get sick from foot diseases, animals with a low degree of tension.
Let's find out what the Ayrshire Swedish Red's most outstanding phenotypic characteristics are.
This animal, as you can see when comparing it to the animal we have in front, is an animal that isn't as angular. This does not mean it's not a good producer of milk. That old belief that stated that an animal to produce milk had to be funnel-butted. With the Swedish Red breed, that idea has slightly crumbled. Even though they are good meat producers, they still produce a good quality and quantity of milk. The Swedes are characterized for producing profitable and functional cows, cows with extraordinary legs, as you can see with these animals, cows with a very good mammary system and with a very good depth as well. The animals we have directly in front of us, as you can see, is an animal with more depth, more angular, less stocky, skinnier cows, more feminine, if you can say it that way, with a longer neck that is thinner, and yet it maintains all of the breed's characteristics. It has a fantastic mammary system, as you can see. The udder is fairly wide, very tall, and with an ideal placement of the teat, a characteristic of the breed. And so here we have two examples of an animal that is 100% Ayrshire and an animal that is half Ayrshire and half Swedish Red.
The Ayrshire breed arrived in Colombia in the year 1910 thanks to the Ospina family. The breed was initially established in Antioquia, and later, breeding herds were formed in varied weather departments around the country. Many livestock farmers saw the breed as a good producer of milk and fell in love with its many benefits.
I'm a veterinarian, and one of the wishes I've had, almost since youth, was to import a new breed into Colombia that was productive, resistant, and that possessed all the conditions to make it here. I was once invited to the Royal Winter Fair in Canada by some friends who didn't know about livestock. There, I discovered the Ayrshire breed, and after studying its characteristics and its conditions at the time, I decided that this was the breed to bring.
Felipe started working with the Ayrshire Swedish Red 25 years ago. Growing little by little and using high technology, this breeding farm is considered one of the most important ones for this breed in Colombia.
We milk 3 times a day because one day we discovered that at midday, the cow's udders were bursting with milk. I had always believed that the day I had a bunch of cows that gave a lot of milk, that I would milk them 3 times a day. I think it's been 15 years that I've been milking them 3 times a day, and that has helped some ranchers to have an idea that it's not easy to milk 3 times. It depends on the ranch, it depends on the installation, it depends on the location of the milking equipment. Not everyone can milk 3 times a day. This breed of Swedish Red and Ayrshire are fantastic producers of total solids, that's to say, milk with high contents of protein and fat. But in order to achieve that, we have to be able to deliver a great diet to the cow. The other important part is the well-being of the animal. It's not enough to keep cows in any which way. Today, the well-being of the animal is considered a profitable option for the animal. And if we can complement good genes with a great diet and good care for the animal, we will surely have an animal giving out high levels of production, both in milk volume as in total solids.
De muy altas producciones, tanto de volumen de litros de leche como de sólidos totales.
For a livestock ranch to work properly and be prosperous, it is essential that its workers be committed, showing care and having respect for their work.
You know that you have a daily responsibility that you must accomplish on time. I think the most important thing is the day-to-day consistency of paying attention to all the steps. Because not only the farm's welfare depends on that, but also mine, since I am benefiting as a worker because it is my job.
The milking schedules at this livestock company are very intensive. The first milking takes place at 4 in the morning, the second at 11:30, and the third takes place from 4:30 to 5 in the afternoon. In addition, the farm has a special milking system that helps to improve production and quality parameters. Before the milking begins, however, there is nothing better for the cows than spending a few minutes relaxing. Here we have a scrub brush, which spins in a circular motion once in contact with the cow. It stimulates the animal's skin and, as you can see, gives satisfaction and happiness. They could spend the whole day there.
When an animal enters, we start with the regular milking routine, done in the usual way. We do fork milk stripping, clean teats in a pre-milking germicide dip, clean the teat to then proceed placing it in the machine. When the teat is removed, the operator comes and does a post-milking germicide dip of the teat. The opening of the stall is automatic, so once done, the animal simply leaves for its paddock.
Good milking practice is very important and must be applied during the whole process of milk collection. The daily behavior of the operator before, during, and after milking is an essential part of the milking process in order to guarantee an innocuous product. Everything is routine. If you manage a good routine and your cattle don't get mastitis, everything's perfect. Milk is an important product in the diet of human beings. For this reason, it is important to stay at the forefront with new technologies that can improve the quality of the product, seek to improve the welfare of the animals, and make the company more efficient.
The breed is growing here in Colombia, and our animals have nothing to envy from those of developed countries. We have the same productivity, and the cows adapt well to the difficult Colombian weather. I think that we are doing well, progressing all the time, and always spreading the good qualities of the breed. The fact is, Ayrshire Swedish Red is the most profitable breed, since it suffers less from mastitis and has the lowest count of somatic cells out of all of the dairy breeds, as well as fewer open days. I'm not telling stories. This is a study done in the United States.